The orphan train rolls on, on, on. Someday she'll taste a sweeter kiss, and someday he'll take a seat at Congress. No time now to be petrified by this, calling anyone to show up and find us here. Who's looking out for you? Who's looking out?
You know, in those days, the gals would get in crowds and we'd walk around the square and stuff, and he said to he happened to be talking to my cousin, and he says, well, I'd sure like to meet that girl with the red shoes. So that's how we met. So whenever I gave a talk, I always wore red shoes. Well, I still wear red shoes too, but still, that's how we met. And this he was a great saver. That was from our first date that we went to Grand Island to the dance. That's the ticket from it. And that was a long time ago because I was young. I must not have been more than 15. Yeah, you see, the last train was in 1929. So Freddie was toward the end. There was only 7 or 8 on his came with him.
Smoke from the engine.
He didn't, but a lot of them had miserable time, you know, from kids. His cousins never knew the difference, but what he was just a Swedenburg. He never had a bit of trouble. But then he stayed out in the country more. He went to country school. I think that makes a difference. He only had to walk down their driveway and across the highway, and he was at school. The school was right across the road. He was always so appreciated being, because some of them were abused that were adopted. Terribly abused. And in those days, they didn't do much about it, you know. Oh, and I forgot to say, when he was there, it was a family down the highway, took 2 of the boys, and they wouldn't even let them sleep in the house. They had to sleep in the barn. So the home came and got them, took them back. But some of those made more out of themselves than some of the others, because they had to rely on their own. But I've always got a little verse that I always ended my talk with, and let's see now, how does it? Now this is the road to tomorrow, but this is a place called today. It's a wonderful place to visit, but no one may ever stay. We found that in my husband's billfold after he died. And I thought it was so touching.
The orphan train rolls on,